Being asked to deliver a keynote speech is a great honour, but it's also a great responsibility. If you're the keynote speaker, you have the responsibility of making the event a success. If you're opening a conference, the tone is set by the keynote, and you'd better be a better speaker than all the others who follow you. And if you're closing the event, you have to remember that the impression that the delegates leave the event with hangs on your shoulders. If you're great, they'll walk away feeling really good. And that's your job. The key element of keynote speaking is authority. And authority comes naturally when you know what you're talking about. I remember 20 or so years ago, I was on the same bill in Paris with Professor Nicholas Negroponte of MIT. And Nick was giving the keynote speech about the digital future, of course. And he spoke brilliantly. He held the audience in the palm of his hand for more than an hour. And at the end, during the Q&A session, a French journalist asked him, "Why don't you use slides or notes?" And he looked down at the young man who'd asked and he said, "Because I know my subject." Well, of course, coming from anyone else other than Nick Negroponte, that might have sounded arrogant. But I knew, and probably some of the audience realised, that Nick Negroponte in those days spent all of his life studying the digital future. There wasn't a minute of a working day when he wasn't wondering and studying and researching how the various strands of digital technology were going to fit together and what they were going to produce. And if you're going to deliver a keynote speech, you have to be equally as knowledgeable. I don't use slides, I don't use notes, and that's because I prefer to have a conversation with the audience, and audio-visual elements get in the way of that conversation. In keynote speeches, you're also expected to deliver something new, something original. And of course, that's easier said than done. And the only way I know to deliver something fresh, to deliver something new, is when it comes out of daily research. When it comes out of the fact that you spend the time doing the research and the thinking that the delegates don't have time to do. What is clear is the keynote speaker also has to be funny, entertaining, and amusing, as well as delivering really valuable content. Laughter breaks down barriers between the keynote speaker and his or her audience. And those barriers have got to be broken down before a conversation can properly occur. When organisers of conferences and seminars and so on entrust a keynote speech to a speaker, they are saying to him or her, "Make this event a success." It's a singular honour, but it actually takes a great deal of work to pull it off.